Hi, Dennis Weiss. Welcome to our town. On behalf of Eagle Communications and Great Plains Theater, we have Ann Brousseau as a guest today, and we're going to talk about a first. I love first. You know, a lot of people, I'm best at this and I'm best. Well, best is temporary. You're best right now, best today. But first is always first.
First is first.
So you and a group of people have an event coming in May that is a first for Abilene, and you're going to tell us all about it.
I will.
Okay.
We are planning the first, first ever outdoor downtown and Abilene Antique Fest.
In the downtown?
In the downtown.
Wow, what a great idea.
Yes.
So you drive downtown, you see all the antique places.
All these antique stores.
And you see, when it gets a little warmer, you see the people coming from around the area to come visit our little antique stores.
Exactly.
But we've never had a downtown, right in the middle of the streets, antique fest before.
Festival. We've
a festival.
A festival. We petitioned the city, and we have permission to close off five blocks of streets, and there will be, we hope, our goal is 100 vendors outside, and we've got room for that many, and we'll also have some food vendors, and we want shoppers to come and enjoy the day and make a weekend out of it. It's a one-day event, but
May
12th. Sorry, May 12th. And the hours of the festival are 9 to 4. Make a day of it, shopping outdoors, and then we've got 8 antique stores downtown.
So,
and over 150 vendors in those buildings. So, wow.
When you called me and told me about this and said, you know, maybe we could do in our town about it, so excited.
Yes, we are too.
As you know, because of the years you were marketing director at the hospital and always prepared these programs so well for us to come and do about the hospital. You know, I never make a program without talking about the economic impact to the community. So the holy grail of any size city, big, little, or in between, is a vital downtown, a vitalized downtown.
Yes.
So when you're looking at small towns like us in the middle of Kansas, it's kind of turned into revitalized downtowns, because all Kansas communities have went through, downtown was here, now it's here, and we're looking to grow back up.
Yes.
We are so blessed in Abilene that we didn't get to here, but we still have opportunity to revitalize what once was. So when I say once was, I think we should talk about what used to be here.
Okay.
So the United Telephone Building.
Yes.
C.L. Brown, you know, I don't know, still has something over 100 companies that he started that are still in business today. Dwight David Eisenhower.
What a community that was.
What a community. The Seeley Mansion, which is still in business really, you know, but the Seeley Company. All of Abilene was a powerhouse during the Industrial Revolution.
It was.
So we have a lofty target.
We do. I don't know if we can hit that again, Dennis.
I don't know. I never say never. My son is smarter than me.
Yes.
So.
Yes, my daughter's smarter than me,
my daughter right down the hall is a little smarter than me too, and so are the one in Washington and the one in Wichita. So, you know, but the reality of it is we have a generation to follow us, don't we?
We do.
Yours is turning into a PhD May 12th.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is. So, all of that being said, so I just say, sure we can. Sure we can. We're sitting in a period of time where who would have thought that two little birds chasing each other with mad looks on their faces across a screen on a smartphone could generate money.
Yes.
So we're in the age of invention still in America.
We are.
The digital age is just opened up creativity everywhere. There's no reason Abilene cannot be a powerhouse of industrial revolution again.
Yes. And we're at the beginning of this fest, and we hope it will grow and grow and grow until, you know, it will take a few years to get there, but my dream, my vision is that someday we're going to have to close off the whole downtown. and just make a weekend, maybe even a week of it. I mean, they do this in other states. We've gone to them in other states.
This program is shown all over the eastern cluster of Eagle Communications, including Marion and Hillsborough. So Hillsborough has
does this.
a 20-something year-long, maybe longer than that, craft fair.
Yes.
That closes off the entire downtown community. It has to start somewhere, and in Abilene, Kansas, it's starting May 12th with an antique festival
May 12th, 2018.
downtown.
Yes.
So whose idea was it?
Well, it was mine.
That's good. That's good.
It was mine.
So who was the first person you handed the script to on what we're going to do today?
Well, we're working with the owners of Mud Creek Antique Mall and at Abilene Downtown Antique Mall, and those owners are Jeff and Ricky Elliott.
All right.
And one day, my husband and I have a booth two booths actually in Mud Creek Antique Mall, and one day I said to Ricky Elliott, I said, Abilene needs to have an outdoor antique festival. Why is this not being done? And she turned to me and she said, well, if I could get some help. And that's where it began.
There you go. So it's the same answer to the question, why isn't anything being done? Because you or
Somebody
me
has to step
hasn't
up.
done it yet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So beauty of what happens regularly where we're sitting. So we're at Great Plains Theater, and we've told that story many times, but exactly where we're sitting in a little art gallery. As a part of Great Plains Theater, and Joe Swartz, a local artist's work, is currently displayed.
It's displayed here.
Well, I don't know if it's really hers. She says she does this by burning wood. I think it's magic. I don't believe anybody could actually.
If people haven't seen this, they need to come see it.
Burn that on wood and make it look like that, but I think it's some dark magic. But it's Joe Swartz's anyway, right? So there's a little art gallery right here when you walk from between the Eagle popcorn machine out there and the great main stage plays that go on in here. We have a little art gallery. Somebody had to do that.
But think of the history of the ground we're sitting on.
Into the Chisholm Trail.
The end of the Chisholm Trail. The cow pens were right here. We were right here on hallowed ground.
I am very comforted knowing that cows preceded me. That's right up my alley, you see.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
you're the cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So May 12th, the
Anyway.
first ever downtown outdoor antique festival. We need vendors.
We need vendors. We're still taking applications for vendors.
How do they get them to you?
Well, I'm going to provide you the contact information
And
you
it's
can
gonna
put
be
on your
right here on a
screen.
little scroll.
Yes. And I'll send them an application form, and they get that back to me. We'd like to have them back by April 1. We've got to have time to turn this around, you know. So vendors, if you're out there listening and watching, please contact us, and we'll try to find a spot for you.
You know, if they're up to Eagle Communications doing business up there, they could leave a little message for Amber So and pop it on your desk. So when you come in,
they could
there
do
it
that
is.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, you know, antiques, you have 2 booths.
Yeah.
Is
my
this something
husband and
you've
I.
long been interested in?
Well, we've been antiquers forever, for a long, long time. And when my husband retired before I did, and when I retired, I said, you know, we ought to just start an antique booth. It'd be something we could do. And he kind of drug his feet for a little while, and we moved right after I retired. And when we moved, we cleaned out a whole bunch of stuff, and we did get rid of it. And so about, I don't know, several months after we moved, he said, you know, I think maybe we should start an antique booth. And I said, well, we shouldn't have gotten rid of all of that stuff we got rid of. But anyway, it's grown from there, and then within 2-3 months, we had 2 booths.
So I'm going to tell a secret here to probably you and certainly many people out there watching TV or watching us on the web. Dragging feet is the husband's way of testing whether it's really a good idea or not, because we really don't know.
I know.
Okay? Yeah, no, you know. So, but by Chuck dragging his feet a little bit, that gives you time to come back and present him with more information that's maybe more easily understood for the simple ones.
Yeah.
And then it becomes apparent to us that it was a good idea all along.
But actually, well, he's helping on this antique festival too. I need to say that. He's done a lot. But actually, getting back to our booth, he's the retail guy. He has the retail smarts. He was in retail almost his entire adult life. And he knows far more about what we need to be doing, you know, and how to do it, and the pricing and all that, than I do.
There you go. You're just here to tell the whole world about it because of marketing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so because conversation, this show is a conversation about a topic, and today it's the first ever outdoor antique fest in downtown Abilene. But the life is really in a circle. So
it is.
Your husband called and said, would you like to talk to the Optimist Club about economic development in our community? Saw the program with Doug Smart and Doug Kitzinger filmed right here. He said, that's an interesting topic, we'd like to hear about that. So right after I was just starting to recover from the Black Plague of 2018, out there for breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning, and had a wonderful breakfast, and I learned something.
Yes.
This is where all the retired teachers go.
Yes.
My goodness, were there a table full of retired teachers from our area.
Yes, and he's not a retired teacher. I mean, he did teach in the beginning of his adult life, but we both did. And but he has friends that are retired teachers that pulled him into Optimist.
So I was talking about economic development and stuff, you know, and I was telling the story that you and I do, which is we go tell people what's coming, what's going to happen. That gives a chance for them to act, and that's the way economic development grows, because somebody comes to the festival, buys a chair, takes it home, goes to RHV, buys a refinishing kit. The circle goes around, right?
And that is precisely why we wanted it in downtown and outdoors. Downtown, we want to pull people into this community. We want to build this community. We want people to see what all there is here and come back, you know, and this is a good way to do that.
The long oil building, which is at the corner of 3rd and Buckeye, that has been actually cleaned off, so the old facade is showing,
which is great.
Isn't that fantastic? Talk about revitalization. They rolled that clock back a long time, and that building looks fantastic and has a new, growing, healthy, modern business in it.
Yes.
We want people to see that.
We do.
Because if they could do it at Benjamin F. Edwards, or is it Benjamin E. Edwards?
I'm not sure.
Benjamin and Edwards, in the middle, I'm not sure. F, Dave knew.
Okay.
But that's an investment business. What a beautiful thing to have in that historic building for people to grow their opportunity. Such a great story, and people when they come to the Antique Fest go, wow, Abilene's doing great.
We have some beautiful old buildings downtown, historic buildings, I should say, and I mean, this community, as you mentioned at the very beginning, has such a rich history, and wow, what a boom place it must have been.
So I'm going to bounce back to antiques.
Okay.
There's a wide scope of product that fits in antiques. So you've got any guidelines to people who are wanting to come? If it'll fit in a booth on the street, they can bring it?
It has to be antique or vintage. It's not a crafts fair or flea market. It's an antique vendors. It could be a repurposed piece of antique piece. You know, it's furniture, decor, whatever, but it has to be antique. We do screen the vendors as to what they sell so that it will be appropriate.
I've got an antique corn grinder. It's about 1,400 years old. It looks a lot like a rock.
Oh, that kind.
Because where I grew up,
that's what they
used. They were laying all over the ground.
Really?
So I brought one home that I'd had for years and years and years and years and years in my house before it was illegal to pick up anything over 50 years old.
Yeah, you can't do that now.
It's a rock. But it's really the tool that the Anasazi Indians used to grind the corn that So
that's an antique?
that's an antique.
I would have no idea what the value of that antique would be.
I wouldn't either, and I'm pretty sure you couldn't sell it, so it doesn't really matter. But it'd make a great display piece.
It would. It would make a great display. Yeah.
How many antique stores do we have in our community? Do you have an idea?
We have 8. Okay. And 150 vendors within those antique stores is what I've been told.
That was a silly question to ask Ann Brousseau and say, do you have any idea how many?
So, you know, once they finish shopping outside, I mean, they can stroll our downtown for hours and hours.
Well, we're going to try to make sure that not only do we give this good play on Eagle Local 2, but it's on eaglecomtv.net. Okay. So you can Facebook and push this all over the area.
Through our
It's
links.
May, it's springtime in Kansas.
It'll be a beautiful day, beautiful spring day.
Beautiful spring day. They can go up to the flower box and buy some flowers while they're walking around downtown too.
So, yes. So, I mean, our downtown eateries are cooperating with us, and we have a map with their locations on it, and you know, we will have food vendors, but if you want something more than walking food, you know.
What day of the week is the 12th?
It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday. Well, the Eisenhower Campus is still open.
Yes, it is.
To be walked, and there's a lot of things to view without going in the buildings.
Yes.
I don't know what's going to be open or available during inside the buildings on May 12th, but if you're coming to Abilene, Kansas, you owe it to yourself to walk the Eisenhower Campus.
Yes, it's a beautiful spot.
It's something to see, but it's someplace to be. It's the childhood home of Dwight David Eisenhower. It's where he chose to put his records and repository of his years of the military, as well as a president who presided over 8 years of peace and prosperity.
Yes.
Beautiful place. You'll want to come back.
Yes, and spend longer. And the history contained in those buildings is mind-boggling.
So when I go over there to their antique show, I have to put white gloves on.
Yes.
They bring antiques out and put them on a table in front of me.
Yes, I've watched you.
Some of them are pretty tempting, so I just think it's interesting. We're here to talk about an antique festival in downtown Abilene, May 12th. We're going to close down 5 streets, and it's going to be a good time.
Yes.
There's just so much else in Abilene while those people are here.
While they're here.
You will make a day of it. So if you're the guy who comes with your missus, and maybe the missus is far more interested in antiques than you are, there's so much other stuff to do.
There's other things to do. Yeah, bring a family, and there will be something for everyone. Everybody can find something to do.
All right, we've got 2 minutes left.
Oh,
what haven't we said?
Vendors contact us. Shoppers, come shop us. Make a day of it in Abilene, and there will be things you miss, so you'll need to come back. But it's Saturday, May 12th in downtown Abilene. 5 blocks of vendors, and all of our antique stores to boot. If you run out of things to see, just go into one of the stores.
And it's the first ever.
And it's the first ever in outdoor.
If you miss it, you can never say you were at the first ever. So this is a must-come-to event,
This is a must-come, and we hope it's every year, annual.
Very
after
good.
This.
Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing the information. But most of all, thanks for the idea and the work that it's going to take to pull it off.
It does take a lot of work.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
But it's going to be good for Abilene. It's going to be good for every one of us. It'll be good for you if you come.
Yes. Hope
I'm
to
Dennis
see you.
Weiss. I work for Eagle Communications. This is Ann Brousseau. She occasionally helps us at Eagle Communications now. But she's working for you, putting on the first ever Downtown Abilene Antique Festival, May 12th. We'll see you there.